Hey, everybody. We are back again for the second week, and we have the same panel. I'm just going to call them the panel because you guys seem to be down for every week. So, plus one special guest. So, I am going to add them in. We have Toni and Julie from Haunted Expeditions.
Hey, guys.
We have Maryann from TipaTV.
Happy Tuesday.
Kassy from Weeping Willow Paranormal.
Hey guys.
And we have Amy with us from What the Paranormal.
Hello, everyone.
So we've got a lot of females in here tonight. A lot of feminine energy. So I thought maybe tonight we would start with how everybody got into doing what it is you do, because not everybody knows everybody else's story, I don't think. And some of us have been doing it a lot longer than others. So let's start with the new guest, Amy. Would you like to tell everybody how you got into doing paranormal investigations?
Yes, and I'll have my camera on in just a sec. I'm just trying to get everything set up.
That's
still.
Fun. We can hear you.
My whole entire family's been into the paranormal. We're Chickasaw Indian, and so I was basically raised with everything and anything paranormal. We have a lot of family members who have different types of gifts and stuff. I really didn't care too much about it until I became a teenager. I knew of it, but when I was 17, I started messing around with the Ouija board and stuff like that, and I had no clue what I was doing. We ended up getting into something really bad, and took us a long while to get rid of it. So from then on out, I just had so many questions. I still, to this day, have so many questions. But yeah, just from then on out, I was hooked. I just wanted to know anything there was to know about the paranormal.
So that's really cool, because that would probably make most people quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It just made me have more questions. So
yeah. That's awesome. Thank you. What about you, Kassy?
So I've always been interested in paranormal since I was like little. I've had some experiences that I didn't necessarily realize they were paranormal until later on in life, as in like really recently. But I used to write ghost stories and all that kind of thing. And then starting like probably about 2 years ago, I started realizing there was actually investigations. Like I didn't know that was possible. And so then I started watching the haunted side, and that kind of piqued my interest. And then semi recently, like probably in April or so, I started realizing maybe I should be doing this. Sorry if you hear my kids. I started realizing I could do this type of thing, and I started investigating just this May. And yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. So I'm very, very like I'm like a baby ghost hunter. So I'm new, but I love it.
Are you hooked?
I'm 100% hooked. I'm like researching like daily, like hourly, like locations. And it's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maryann, how about you?
Mine starts way back. Itty bitty. My first experience that I recall was probably about 4 years old, and I grew up in an environment where we had very, very overprotective parental units, and very, very conservative, very, straight-laced. This is how it's just black and white. There's no in between. And I had a lot of questions because there was a lot of in between in my world, because I was seeing stuff, I was experiencing stuff, and that was so taboo. You don't talk about it or you're mental. And of course, you don't want to be mental. So I held it in for years and years and years, kind of secretly experiencing my own things and just making mental notes, but not telling anyone. And got in a state of life where I was finally able to kind of safely dabble a little bit, and started going on some ghost hunts and meetups and talking with people who I trusted to have had no more than I did, and getting some questions answered, and eventually joined some teams, and that's how Josh and I met, in fact. And we've been doing this for probably, how long do we figure? Long time. I don't know. 15, 16, 17 years. So probably about 16 or 17 years.
Wow. That's awesome. Are you still hooked?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're constantly learning. There's always things that you're learning from other people, learning from other experiences. I mean, there's no cookie cutter, like you go in, you have an experience and you know it all. You don't. I mean, you just don't. Because there's always going to be something that does not make sense and doesn't fit everything else you've learned to that point. So,
and every experience is unique.
Absolutely.
It's different every time. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Miss Julie, how about you?
When my daughter was in middle school, we went to a plantation, and that was my first experience I ever had. We were in one of the rooms where some soldiers had been, and very off. I mean, just felt very, very off. There was and this is cold weather, so it wasn't a lot of air going through the house whatsoever because they were really close. So I had this really weird experience where there's like 3 of us in one room, and they only took us from room to room one at a time. And something, it's like almost slapped my ponytail in the back while I was there. And I'm like, I asked my daughter, I said, quit messing with my hair. And she said, I didn't do it. And so that was the first experience at the plantation I had. It was just the whole vibe of being there. And then I got a little more curious. And so that's when I went to a team. And then when Toni decided she was going to start her own team, I came to her. So I've had experiences like that all throughout my life of something not being quite what I thought it was, but I kind of brushed it off as like, because my friends say, well, you're just crazy. You're crazy. Why would you do that? You're crazy. So, but that was my experience, and it's been fun. And like you said, it's a learning experience. I mean, I may go into a room, nothing happens to me. Someone else goes into a room, like my husband will go into a room, things happen. So it just, every experience. Yeah, at Brushy, everywhere we went, they were attracted to him through the K2s and stuff. And if me and Toni spoke at all, they would shut off. I mean, just completely shut down. And then when we would walk away, they would kick back up. So I guess they didn't like me and her at Brushy. So, but they liked my husband, of course. But anyway, it's been fun.
Raise your hand if you've ever been called crazy. You're in good company. You're fine.
I already know I'm crazy.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's not really a surprise.
I'm certified. It's fine. Toni, how about you?
Mine started when I was younger. My first experience was in my mom and dad's house. We had just lost my grandfather, and I had seen a shadow in the living room just cross over. I'm like, what in the world is that? And as I got older, there was more and more experiences, especially after I got married. There was a time when my kids were little that we had put them to bed. We had an old TV VCR combo and turned everything off, went to bed. All of a sudden, we're hearing the TV playing again, playing the same movie. We went in there thinking the kids had got up. No kids. They were sound asleep in bed. TV and everything's playing. This happened quite a few more times. I mean, we even unplugged the TV, put the movie back in the case, and it still come back on.
Wow.
Can't explain it.
Sure.
And then we were living in Gallatin, Tennessee one time, and I was in the bedroom. Sam went to go take a shower, and he gets out of the shower and he goes, "Why did you come in there and not speak to me?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, You came into the bathroom, sat down. I was trying to talk to you. You never said nothing and got up and left. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't ever go in there. He's like, what? I said, I've been in here the whole time. So evidently we had a lady in our townhouse that would go in the bathroom with him. And my nephew, who stayed at that same townhouse with us, said he's seen a woman dancing in our kitchen through our TV screen when it was blank. So
Ooh.
we've had something evidently following us around.
Wow.
Wow.
But
yeah.
I started with a team and decided to start my own team beginning of this year, and had Julie and her husband join us, and I've been enjoying it ever since.
That's awesome. That's great. And since you started your team, we've been working a lot together. We've done a lot of stuff together. So I guess I should tell mine, right?
Yes. Of
Um,
course.
so mine is actually a lot like Maryann's, except for I haven't had like paranormal experiences my whole life. I've had different abilities my entire life, but it wasn't something that I was allowed to talk about or even explore. It didn't exist. Me and my brother and my sister were all really sensitive to things, especially different spirits, if that makes sense. We could always sense if there was something really bad around, which doesn't turn out well when it happens in church. And you just want out and you're trying to tell people there's something bad here. So I've always known I was different and always thought differently, but I was never allowed to explore that because that wasn't, I grew up in a very religious household, which I still am, but in a different way, I guess, where everything was traditional. I think I said that last time. And you don't talk about, people don't have abilities. That's not real. And if you do, it's witchcraft and it's evil. So, so until I met John, I was not allowed to explore any of that, and met him, and he told me what he did. And I was like, I'd love to do that. And he's like, are you for real? You're kidding, right? You wouldn't really go. And I've been going with him ever since, and don't plan to ever stop. I'm still, I don't know what that means, John, that you just typed, but I don't, I'm learning something new every day when we go out and when we're doing this. So it's pretty amazing. And I have learned what my abilities are, but not what the limits are. So we're still exploring that, and it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. So let's go back around. Has anybody ever had a moment where you were ready to quit? You were done?
Yeah.
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 Not yet.
Mine was back when I was with the other team. I was to the point I was done. And honestly, if it wasn't for John saying, hey, you can make it, you can do this on your own, then I probably wouldn't have started. But yeah, John was a big encouragement for me.
Oh, look at that, John. You're good for something. That's awesome. Amy, what about?
I had the same experience with, not bashing anybody, but we were all close in the old team, and just got weeded through in a different way, I guess you could say. So, and I just about didn't want to go back into it at all. I had pretty much said I'm done, as well. So then Toni asked, and I just kind of hesitated a little bit because I was kind of broken at that point. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it no more. I wanted it to be fun, and past experience wasn't so fun. So I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm done. And, but the more that I've gotten into it, the different stories I hear, the different people I meet, it makes it fun again. So, I mean, we're supposed to be united, you know, we're supposed to have a pair of unity where we can work as a group. I mean,
Yeah.
and learn from each other. And that's the goal. It's, you know, I can learn from you, you can learn from me. And I'm still learning. I mean, like every time I go, it's something different, a new experience.
Mhm.
So we're supposed to uplift everybody, you know, not, I have a coworker, she's in her 70s. She's like, you're absolutely crazy. Why would you mess with the dead? So she said, you're just crazy. I'll pray for you. Why would you mess with the dead? Because she said, religion tells you that, you shouldn't mess with the dead. And I'm like, I'm not messing with the dead. They can speak to me if they choose to. I know where my limits are, you know, so, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Awesome. Anybody else have a I quit moment?
Yeah. When you asked that question, I had a couple of things pop through my head, and one of them was a question because of people, other people, just and the negativity and or just the closed-mindedness of certain people who just know everything, and you're wrong no matter what you say. I literally did have someone adamant that orbs were aliens living in the ceiling. Dead serious. And I thought, yeah, no.
I buy that.
no.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah. We've run across some things, but I think as far other than like other people issues, I think the one time that really kind of made me really question whether I wanted to know more or be in environments that were haunted or supposedly haunted was my second attempted possession takeover. It was the scariest crap I have been through. The feeling was they were trying to kill me. They were trying to choke my life out. And it was so difficult to get that entity out of my body and away from me. It scared me so bad because I wasn't really even at a place going hunting. It was just a friend's house that apparently had some stuff there. I didn't take it as seriously as they were saying. Oops. Young and dumb days. And it made sure I knew it was there. And I'll tell you, coughing that thing up was not fun. It was not fun. And it made me wonder if I was doing something I shouldn't, or if I really wanted to. But then I figured too, hey, look, I wasn't out looking for it. It found me. So if I'm going to just walk down the street and have something happen anyway, I might as well be prepared.
Yeah. There you go. I've not dealt with anything like that, and I don't want to.
Yeah, don't.
I have dealt with something like that, but not to that extreme. I've had a little bit of an attachment to where, I didn't notice it at first, but everybody around me noticed it. My demeanor changed, like my whole facial features and everything changed. And when I finally noticed it, I was on my way to work, and I didn't feel like myself driving to work. It was like everything had changed, and it's like, this ain't right. And I was finally able to get rid of it, and I felt that weight come off. But I mean, like, I didn't notice it first. Everyone else around me noticed it, how I had changed. And I was like, what in the world? I said, this is crazy.
It's
but
scary.
It wasn't to the extreme of Maryann's.
Well, what's scary too is that it does take other people. They don't want you to know it. They don't want you to see it.
Yeah.
It takes other people to tell you, and usually by that point you're like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm fine. Everything's fine." That's how it stays, and that's scary. It's dangerous.
Yeah. Are we scaring you, Kassy?
Nope.
Good.
No. I mean, I was pretty freaked out of screening tunnels, but I mean, I've done 3 investigations, so I'm not yet. But I wasn't scared to run away. I mean, I did kind of run out of the tunnel, but that, anyways.
Yeah. So John just mentioned in the chat that, was it Sunday? Was that when it was? We went out to a place that I've driven by several times during the day. It's like a local legend place for a devil dog, a demon dog. Yeah, that was I actually ran to the car and we left. It was pretty intense.
Ooh.
So yeah, we'll just leave that right there because I don't know if we're going to be posting that later. So but yeah, I was in tears actually. Just talking about it, I'm about to cry again. And that doesn't happen. Y'all know that doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
especially Toni and Julie, you know that. It was pretty. There was something evil there.
Mm.
Yeah. Amy, have you had a I quit moment?
Yes, but not because of me. I've had a couple of attachments. Mine was because of Lainey. There was at one point in time where she had an attachment that was really bad.
Yeah.
She wasn't sleeping at night. She was not eating. And it took us weeks and weeks and weeks and several different types of people coming in and helping us try to get rid of this thing. And it took a big strain on her to where she was like scared. And Lainey is very, very sensitive. She has all kinds of abilities, but she didn't want it anymore. She was done. She didn't want anything to do with it anymore. And at that time I thought, well, you know, maybe it's best that we just end it, call it quits. But luckily we had KJ and Danny and several others who came in and kind of helped her learn how to protect herself better and center herself and put that barrier around herself whenever she didn't want things coming in. And after that, she was okay. But seeing her go through all that stuff, it really took a toll on me as well because it scared me. It was a totally different side of her. And so if at any time it gets to the point where it's taking over my daughter, I'll be done. That's all it'll take. But yeah, that almost took us down.
Yeah, I could see that making me want to quit too if it was, you know, something going after my children.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I did not say hi to anybody that's in the chat, but I am seeing all of you guys. So hello to everybody. There's a lot of you. I appreciate you all being here. Does anybody in the chat have a question you want to ask all these ladies?
All I saw was Chinese buffet and I'm really hungry.
Yeah, I see that too.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is each of y'all's favorite equipment to use? What is your exact favorite that you like the best?
That's a good question.
Who's going first?
That's what I was going to say. Who's first?
Lainey's my favorite piece of equipment.
Well, Keisha, you're the moderator, so you just can go first and go on down the line. What's your favorite?
Kassy, how about you? We're going
Okay,
around the
I'm gonna say probably I know Perilous it always has to back up with other equipment, but the Perilous so far for me has been kind of crazy accurate to the point where, like in the screening tunnels, for example, like I'm like, oh, look down the tunnel, and it goes like darkness, and like so it always like, almost seems like the backup. Not all the time. Sometimes it is really out there, but a lot of times it's like it's a little bit too accurate. Sometimes that I'm like I can't deny it. So I don't have luck with my recorder, my digital recorder yet. I never get EVPs off of that. It's always off of my cameras, audio. So, but for now, that's probably it. But I don't really have a whole heck of a lot. So of equipment just yet. So
Yeah. So when we saw you doing Crow's method, I downloaded the Perilous app, and I have to agree, like that thing is crazy accurate. We did use it Sunday night at the. Oh, look who's here. We used it Sunday night, and it was so dead on with what John was hearing with the Necrophonic app. It was insane. I hope you guys can hear it when we had audio issues.
So is it the Spirit Box app? Is that what it is?
It's the Perilous app.
So, okay, so kind of like Necrophonics, only different.
It's like the Obelisk,
Yeah,
Oh, like an
Obelisk,
okay.
but a lot cheaper.
Okay.
'Cause, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'd be getting an Obelisk, like hands down, but Perilous for now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So, Maryann, what's your favorite?
I was thinking just my senses, honestly. I go with my gut, because I know that it won't lead me astray, usually. It's been a couple times, but if it's like tangible equipment stuff, that's kind of a toss up because I've experienced some really cool things with different pieces of equipment. I have to go old school though if I have to pick one, and I'd say flashlights because we just seem to make those work really well.
And that's exactly what I thought of when I was thinking what was my favorite, because we've only used them once, and that was at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. But we got direct yes, no answers using those things, and that's like the best answers I've ever gotten. So yeah, I like flashlights
we get
too.
some crazy responses off of those sometimes, and it's when you can see it immediately. That's what helps everybody else understand kind of what's going on, because you can't hand someone a feeling, you can't hand someone an impression or a voice.
So I'm going to let everybody else answer the question, but I want to address this question too because I think it's a good one. How do you find trustworthy people to work with?
He's saying you don't trust me. I'm getting replaced.
Well, I mean, I think just like, well, I tried to take that back off and it didn't work. Okay. There it went. I've had good experiences and bad experiences with people, so I don't have the answer for that question, but if anybody has a great answer.
I've had both.
Yeah, you really can't find out until you actually work with them.
Yeah.
We've been lucky and worked with a lot of amazing people, so we haven't really found anyone we won't work with again or that we haven't trusted. But yeah, you really, because people are just who they are on camera. You don't know who they are in real life or, what they actually do in their videos or whatever until you meet with them. So, yeah, we've been lucky so far, but yeah, you just have to work with them.
Yeah, I agree.
And for us before in the, before YouTube days, it was just a lot of, meeting them, talking with them, seeing their energy, seeing how they carry themselves and how they treat other people. But even then, we've seen so many people change because they get, they just get starstruck and think they're going to be the next big thing. And they don't care who they throw under the bus or walk on or step over or throw aside to get there. And we've had some shocking, some really kind of shocking experiences with people that we just didn't expect that would happen. So you really never know. I mean, you really don't ever know. It just, I agree with Amy. You just kind of have to fill it out and let it take its course and see what happens.
Yeah.
Live and learn. Yeah. So Ruth wants to know if we've all gotten together as a group. That would be, I don't even know how we would accomplish that.
UrbexCon.
It would, yes.
I would
it would be amazing though.
UrbexCon. That's how.
I have to either fly out or wait for the land borders to open.
Oh,
so
that's true. Yeah, that kind of puts a damper on it.
I was thinking about where we all are, and I think we'd have to meet in like the center of the United States. That'd be where halfway for all of us.
Yeah.
Isn't that Colorado where UrbexCon's going to be?
Oh, snap.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, that would be awesome, though.
That would be very cool. Yes.
Speaking of that, I am told I have to mention this. So, we just got some really awesome stickers.
They're epic.
Yes, they
Those are cool.
They
Yeah.
are very
And
cool.
they're very big stickers that we will be selling at UrbexCon. And what we
Ah.
have left after that, we're going to be selling on YouTube. So I don't know
Get it.
how we're going to do that yet, but that's what I was told to say.
That's awesome. Those are epic. You guys
Yeah.
get them. Get them. Get
Yeah.
them. You're gonna want one.
And they're like this, the size of my hand.
The stickers are gone, they're gone.
Limited edition, folks.
Yeah, he said once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
Hey, Dentex,
Hi,
Hello.
Dentex.
you guys are amazing. There's so many people in here. All right, so Toni, I didn't get to hear what your favorite piece of equipment is, since you're like, you have everything.
I wish I had everything. Well, that's a hard one.
You had all this time to think.
I know I'm still like it's so hard. I've got so much, but here lately, I think it's been just like the K2, and I've been trying to do like the pendulum, just to see if I can get yes or no answers out of it.
That's interesting. How's
How's it
that
working?
going?
It's a work in progress. I got to steady my hand enough to where it's not me moving it.
Yeah, I could never do that. I also could never be a doctor or a nurse.
But we tried the pendulum out Saturday night, and we were getting some responses from it. We were in an 1800 schoolhouse, so the pendulum was around in that era. So I was trying to see if they would use that and respond to us instead of the modern day equipment. So we
Awesome.
were getting some yes and no answers, and
Thanks,
That's
Ruth.
cool.
That's so sweet. What about you, Julie?
I think my favorite is the K2 because I'm like a kid at Christmas. I'm waiting for something to change, the lights to change, and when I get them to change to going from a green to a red, I'm just like super excited, like it's a Christmas present. So and like I said, Tony's got everything that I haven't got my hands on yet. But,
She does have everything.
But what? And like I said, your gut feeling. I mean, when things are off. Things aren't quite right. So, like I said, the K2 makes me happy because, like I said, it lights up and I know, things are happening. So,
Awesome. Why is everybody typing player? I missed something.
There's no one named player in the chat.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I was like,
yeah.
what are we
I
talking
see
about?
it now.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, player. Okay. So, everybody that's watching, all of these ladies' information is in the description below. So if you'll go look at all of their stuff, just like, subscribe, follow, comment, all that good stuff. I know you already are because I recognize everybody in here because you're all awesome. But I'd add that anyway. So has anybody got anything huge going on that they can share? Amy, let's start with you. Have you got anything big coming up?
Yeah, I think we have. It's one of the smaller places that we've been to, but it's probably going to be one of our biggest. It's actually a cold case house, and we're going in to try to find out some information for the family. Their family was murdered there, but there's still so many questions on how they were murdered there. It definitely gives me a Amityville horror vibe going into it, and so we're going to be bringing in some extra people on this one because it's definitely a scary story, and they want the house cleansed as well, so they can keep the house. It was actually passed down to them, and they can't live in it. So they want to find out some answers first. So even though it's just a small house, I feel like it's going to be one of our bigger investigations. So
That sounds amazing, and it's great to get to help somebody like that.
right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, cold case thing reminds me, I think it's okay for me to say here, but I have another channel coming up that I'm going to be starting, and I have a lineup of, it's going to be like exposing truths. I have a lineup of people that were in satanic cults.
Oh, nice.
Some crimes that happened that were ruled suicide but weren't really. Some stories like that. I don't know like when that's going to be, but I have all that lined up. So
Do you have your channel link below too?
I don't, not yet.
Okay, you got to let us know.
I will let you know when I
Yeah,
get it.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do it. Some of these people don't want to be pictured, so we're gonna have to figure out how to disguise their voice, that kind of stuff. So we're working on it, but it's gonna be pretty awesome. The first person I'm having on was a member of a cult that actually sacrificed animals and stuff. So
Wow.
yeah. So it should be pretty interesting.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm insane.
Aren't we all?
The
Very
darker,
much.
the better. Yeah, we haven't built that channel yet, John says. We're working on it.
But yeah, we can help you with the audio. I saw his message in there too. But yeah, we can help you with the audio if you want.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, because I've got to figure out how to keep him anonymous. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
All right, Kassy, how is that fort coming along?
Nothing so far. I haven't really looked into it because they're only open certain hours and days. So I know that's like I need to get in there. I just have to like bite the bullet and just walk in there and be like, I need to investigate you. Okay.
Tell me about this fort.
Oh, about the fort? It's the old Fort Erie. So it's was built in like late 1700s. There was a revolution. I can't remember which one. There was something, but then it was the War of 1812. So it got rebuilt for the War of 1812. Super, super haunted. I've been touched there. My head started hurting. It was like, but backed up with stories right there. So crazy location. It's like 5 minutes from my house. So it's like a dream location. But only Ghost Adventures only have ever been there that I've seen. So yeah, so that's not happening just yet. I might need, I don't know how. I need someone's magic to get me in there.
So if anybody knows how to work that magic, I need your help.
Yeah. So So but for the locations, like I'm actually going to. So next week I'm going to a hotel in Niagara Falls. And I'm only like 20 minutes drive from the falls. And it's the fourth floor is haunted. So we're staying in a room there with me and my friend Reese. And we're gonna stay there and investigate. So that's the most sorry, my words are like not working. That's like the biggest location so far right now. And also we're probably gonna investigate the next night or even the same day the Old Drummond Hill Cemetery. So
nice.
Very cool.
Which was another battlefield. So like if you want to ever come up this way, whenever actually no, you guys can drive through the border. It's just Canadians can't get into the US via land. So many haunted locations and battlegrounds. Like it's a really, really awesome place to check out. So
that's awesome. I would love to come to Canada.
Me too. That'd be awesome.
I would love to come down to you guys. Like Canada, I mean, Northern Ontario is pretty and Alberta, but like where I live, it's like the butt. I don't know.
Hello, Jan's life journey. So John says he's actually committed now. He said it. He's gonna have Team Keisha and Team John shirts.
I like it.
The merch store.
Yeah.
And he just dropped a new design with his awesome sauce and his ectoplasm. So y'all should go check that out.
Nice.
Yeah. He's going crazy with these merch designs, but they're pretty awesome.
I got a couple myself getting ready to go here. We had to make sure they knew that it was copyright clearance free.
Oh yeah? You got new
Mhm.
stuff coming?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So everybody go check that out too.
Give me a day.
Go check that out tomorrow.
Yes.
Check ours out today.
They
Check
took
that
it
one out
away.
tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Toni, Julie, what do you guys got coming up?
Not this weekend, but the weekend of the 25th, we have been invited out for the world's largest ghost hunt, and we're going out with Task Force Paranormal up to the Perryville battlefield in Kentucky.
I was looking at that and all those locations. It looks interesting. Like everybody's going to be live streaming from different locations all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool.
That's pretty interesting.
So
And
we'll
like you
be
can
with Task Force Paranormal up there at Perryville.
That's awesome.
And you said that's when?
The 25th.
The 25th.
And they're going to be streaming some really big locations that night too.
Yeah.
I think, right?
We're going to go live from our Facebook page. Task Force is going to go live. So I think it's going to be fun.
Okay. So go follow all of these ladies, not only on YouTube, but all of their social medias as well. So you can watch that.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
We want to do a live investigation.
We would if we could get the signal, but it's spotty most places we go.
That's our problem
so
too.
grainy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
So John says Friday at 9, rewatch of Brushy Mountain. The whole thing. Live rewatch.
All right.
I'll probably be asleep, just to be honest with you.
Ruth is wondering what Brushy Mountain is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary is the prison that was called the end of the line in Tennessee because it is where the worst of the worst criminals were housed. They were used to mine and pretty much treated inhumanely. There was a lot of racial division within the prison. Some fights broke out, lots of people killed, and it is also where James Earl Jones was imprisoned. I'm sorry, James Earl Ray. I can hear somebody out here talking, and it's. Hey, Debbie. So yeah, that's what Brushy Mountain is. It's the state penitentiary, and you can go do investigations. They have there's a kitchen there. You can go and eat there. They have a distillery where they make moonshine. You can go do moonshine tasting.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty
Brushy Mountain
fun.
was also built as an upside down cross.
Yeah, it is a cross design, and it's built like up against the mountains so that there's really no way to escape. Like it's straight uphill outside of any of the walls. It's pretty interesting. So yeah. It also, the original one was wooden and it burned down. And then they forced the prisoners to mine the stone out of the mountain to build the one that's there now.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty dark history.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. All right. Maryann, I need some help. Got a question?
What's up?
Do you have a question? I'm out.
Oh, do
My
I
brain
have a question?
shut down. Yeah.
Hey, what, Josh? He's still yelling at me. What? He just posted it where? Oh. TIPA asked, thoughts on elemental energy?
Oh, there it is. Well, that's interesting you would say that. because when we were at the church Sunday, when we both got scared and we both ran. No, I'm not gonna say we got scared. We got freaked out and we ran. That's what came across the Perilous app. It was saying element, it was saying witch, it was saying different things like that, and that's the feeling that I got. I felt like something was going to materialize and attack us, if that makes any sense. And it's something that wasn't allowed on the church grounds because we were right outside the church gate.
Mm.
And inside the church, we felt kind of like, hey, something doesn't want us here. It feels like we're being disrespectful. Church was built in the 1860s, and the man who built the church had dedicated his whole life to preaching to people in that town. He's traveled 4,000 miles a year on horseback to preach to these people. And he's buried there at that church. So inside the church grounds, inside the cemetery, it was just kind of a feeling like they didn't want us investigating there. We were being disrespectful. So we walked back outside. But as soon as we got outside the church grounds, it was the freakiest feeling. So scary. And I mean, and John agrees, we were thinking elemental energy is what we were feeling. Like, and that's what I could see in my head.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Creepy.
So I don't know if I buy it or not, but it's interesting that you asked that question. Anybody else have any thoughts on that? Amy, how about you?
No, not really.
No thoughts on
really-
elemental? Nothing? Okay.
No.
Tony, Julie?
I was gonna say I'm still learning, so I don't really know if I've really even encountered or have like proper thoughts about it just yet. So
Yeah.
though I think screening tunnels had more to it than I don't know if it was elemental, but there was stuff there that freaked me out. Really, that's why I ran too. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've experienced anything elemental yet. So
I'm trying to remember if we have either. Can you think of anything? I'm drawing a blank. I don't think we have either. But I'm open. I mean, like I'm open to learning more about that
yeah.
because I'm sure that if I looked further into some things, I could maybe connect some more dots.
You did that, Brad.
But am I pulling? Am I pulling at straws to make it? I don't know.
Huh?
You did that,
But there's a
Brad.
lot to learn there, and I think that that's definitely something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go, Josh. Did that help?
and
Yep, big thumbs up.
Okay.
Telling me that evidently we did at Red Ash, but I don't remember it.
What is
I
Sam
know
telling?
I know that there's supposed to be hellhounds up at Red Ash, but I've never seen them. So
I love that we're all skeptical. That makes me really happy. Does anybody else?
Crow had a really good question too.
Who did?
Crow, about if we've had any nightmares after investigation.
Ooh. Let me see if I can find that. There it is. All right. Anybody want to take that one on?
I can guarantee I have 100%.
I haven't yet.
Yes. And it's not necessarily the same night. Sometimes it's a few nights after. But a lot of my information comes through dreams.
Yep.
And sometimes it's just information and that's all it is. And sometimes it's horrendous and you see things you don't want to see, but they need to show you. So you respectfully watch it.
Yep.
And it's scary because I can tell you how I can't even count how many times I have watched through somebody's eyes how they died. In fact, this is kind of weird because I was thinking about this actually just yesterday morning at breakfast because that's my breakfast thoughts. I was just thinking how interesting it was to know what it felt like and what the experience was like, to have your head cut off. I mean, I know that sounds wackadoodle, and he's laughing at me really hard right now, but that's my breakfast thought. I'm sorry, it was.
I don't want to know what that's like.
Yeah, well, it's probably a story for another day, but yeah, I get nightmares after investigation, you could say. I have a lot of people trying to finish conversations, and finish stories or reconnect and connect the dots, or hey, you missed this piece, this is what I was trying to say, and it's just easier for them to come through, I feel like, that way, and that's how they choose to do it. Sometimes it's not always information, sometimes it's nasty, but yeah, been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that, not from an investigation, but I had a friend that knew kind of what my ability, sensitivity, whatever was, and they wanted to give me something that meant something to them, but they didn't tell me what it was, like what it meant to them. They just handed me this trinket and asked me to take it home and see what I thought of it. That was a terrible mistake because I brought it home and I was dreaming all night about the attachment that they had with them, how it was trying to kill everyone around them. It wanted to kill me. I got its name, what it looked like. Like, I watched it kill people in my dreams. And then I went back and told them, and they're like, yeah, I know. Like, why would you do that to me?
You jerk.
I'd say.
Yeah. But anybody else want to share any dreams or nightmares?
I've only had, kind of, I guess you'd call them death dreams. And it's not been
related, not after an investigation.
Not been after an investigation. It's just been like normal death dreams, and it's usually people who are really close to me. Like, I've had a dream of my dad dying, and he just passed August 1st. So I don't know if it's me being a little sensitive or what, but it was weird.
No. I'm going to address this one last question, and then we're going to end a little bit early because TIPA is premiering at 8, right, Maryann? 8?
Yes, ma'am.
So we can all head over that way. But does anybody get uncomfortable visiting someone or walking into a hospital?
Lainey does.
No, but I had an experience.
Lainey does?
Yeah.
I had an experience when I worked at the hospital because there was nuns that were at this hospital, and there was a certain floor we went to come up through into the hospital. That was our entrance in, and all the nuns there that lived there, wore blue. None of them wore any black. They wore blue, and I walked down the hallway that morning. It was very early, and I passed a nun that was wearing solid gray, like very pale gray. So I'm in a hurry to get to the floor where I have to work, and I said good morning, and I thought the nuns are always friendly. They always say good morning, and this one didn't. So I got down the hallway a few steps, and I turned around, and she wasn't there. So there was nowhere for her to turn. There was no room for her to turn. It was just a full hallway, and she was no longer there. And then as I got to asking more about that, other people had saw that nun as well. And come to find out, a few floors up was an old nursery because it was an old section of the hospital, like the very first section. But she didn't say good morning to me, but I said good morning to her. And that really, really made me just completely flip out that morning. That's all that was on my mind. So I don't get nervous, but that morning, yeah, I pretty much was.
So that's crazy.
Very pale gray.
I can't imagine. Yeah. No, thanks. Amy, where does Lainey get nervous?
Anywhere where there's a big crowd.
Okay.
She has full-blown anxiety attacks.
Is she empathic?
She is, yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. I have learned to pretty well manage that, but if I walk into a place where there's something dark that I wasn't expecting, I will freak out a little bit.
she can control it up to that point as well.
Yeah.
They used to put her on anxiety medicine, all that. Now she just carries her crystals and her stones, her protection, and puts herself in a bubble. But when there's dark entities around, it's a different story.
Yeah, same. I totally get that. All right. Well, I am going to end this, and I appreciate all you ladies so much. And
Thank
hopefully
you.
you can all be back next week. And I'm going to try to actually have something awesome to talk about. Not that we aren't awesome, just chatting.
This was awesome
This
tonight.
is fun. This
Yeah.
is fun too.
I enjoyed it.
But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. And Amy, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome.
You are welcome to join us every week if you would like.
Awesome.
And I will be messaging you guys. And if anybody in the chat wants to join us, Dan Tex, you're supposed to be Daniela one week. Don't forget that. You and your you and your wig. You said you would. So you know how we like playing dress up. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to y'all next week.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody head over to TIPA.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.